You say I make you nervous, a tragedy, I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning, you wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you think I would look pretty on your...
Alright everybody, Justice is a Process is here, and we made it. We made it to the end of the Daniel Howard case. We're about to watch the verdict. So we're going to begin the verdict here. Whenever we watch a case like this one started pretty much at the end of this case, I will watch them at 1.5 times speed, so we can get through it faster. We'll do that for you as well. If you want to set them back to 0.75, it makes it a much easier listening pace. But we'll be watching it together mobily. Maybe have some discussions. It won't be as much discussions because I'll be doing this in my free time. And then I'll come on and talk a little bit about the verdict, and then we'll play the verdict. So in this case right now, the jury had closing arguments the night before. They opened court that day. Jury deliberated, ended up deliberating 6 hours. And now we're going to have a verdict. So let's go to the courtroom and get the verdict.
You may be seated. Members of the jury, I'll ask you to speak through your foreperson. Who is that? All right. Have you in fact reached a verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you would hand the verdict form to my bailiff, please. Mr. Howard, if you would please rise. The clerk will read the jury's verdict.
In the District Court of the First Judicial District of the State of Idaho, in and for the County of Kootenai, State of Idaho versus Daniel C. Howard, we, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn to the above entitled action for our verdict, unanimously answer the questions submitted to us as follows. Count 1, is the defendant Daniel C. Howard guilty or not guilty of domestic battery? Guilty. Count 2, is the defendant Daniel C. Howard guilty or not guilty of murder in the first degree? Not guilty. Is the defendant Daniel Howard guilty or not guilty of second degree murder? Guilty.
And I'll note it's signed by the presiding officer. Members of the jury, is this in fact your verdict? So say you all?
Yes.
Do either of the attorneys wish to have the jury polled?
No.
Members of the jury, I'll tell you what happens next. I'll set this matter for sentencing. Mr. Howard is remanded into custody. Counsel, I'm proposing a sentencing date of May 23rd at 1:30 p.m. That's available. I will order a PSI or a pre-sentence investigation. Mr. Howard, I'll have you talk with your attorney about that. You have the right to participate or not participate in that. You continue to have the right to remain silent. Members of the jury, I'm going to read you a closing instruction. I'm giving you a lot of instructions during this case. You have now completed your duties as jurors in this case and are discharged with the sincere thanks of the court. The question may arise as to whether you may discuss this case with the attorneys or with anyone else. For your guidance, the court instructs you that whether you talk to the attorneys or to anyone else is entirely your own decision. It is proper for you to discuss this case if you wish to, but you are not required to do so, and you may choose not to discuss the case with anyone at all. If you choose to, you may tell them as much or as little as you like, but you should be careful to respect the privacy and feelings of your fellow jurors. Remember that they understood their deliberations to be confidential. Therefore, you should limit your comments to your own perceptions and feelings. If anyone persists in discussing the case over your objection or becomes critical of your service, either before or after any discussion has begun, please report it back to me. And with that, I want to thank you for your patience, for your attentiveness, your conscientiousness and attention to detail throughout this case, and the time that you gave in service to this case. I thank the attorneys again for their professionalism and excellent advocacy. All right, I will excuse the jury at this time, and please stand for the jury. All right, Mr. Howard is remanded into custody. I'll see everyone back May 23rd at 1:30 for sentencing. We will be in recess. I'm going to break it. Okay.
You say I make you nervous, a tragedy. I'm a beautiful disaster.